5 types of emotionally immature parents and their impact on you. Welcome to the Psychology and Physical Training channel. Do you have emotionally immature parents? Have you ever felt like your parents didn't understand you, or that you had to grow up too quickly because they couldn't handle their emotions? If so, you might have been raised by an emotionally immature parent. We're talking about a disconnect, an inability to truly connect with and respond to the emotional needs of their children. In today's video, we're uncovering the 5 types of emotionally immature parents, how their behaviors affect your emotional growth, and most importantly, how to heal from the wounds they may have caused. Let's dive in. Though it's beyond your capability. You try to fix it, you try to make them feel better, and in doing so, you start to neglect your own emotional needs. This can lead to feelings of exhaustion and emotional burnout at a very young age. Children are not meant to be their parents' emotional confidants. They need to be children, free to explore their own emotions and experiences without the weight of adult problems. They start to feel like they have to tiptoe around their parents' emotions, afraid to upset them or add to their burden. This can create a constant state of anxiety and hypervigilance. And as these children grow up, they often carry that pattern of emotional caretaking into their adult relationships. They may struggle to set boundaries and prioritize their own needs. But here's the truth. It was never your job to fix your parents. You were a child. Your primary role was to grow, learn, and be nurtured. You deserve to be cared for, nurtured, and protected. Your emotional needs were just as important, if not more so, than your parents'. The fact that your parent relied on you for emotional support speaks volumes about their own emotional immaturity, not about your worthiness. Remember, you were always worthy of love and care, just as you are. Now let's talk about the second type of emotionally immature parent, the controlling parent. These parents often have a rigid view of the world, and they believe that their way is the only right way. They might have a specific plan for their children's lives, from the careers they choose to the people they marry, and any deviation from that plan is met with resistance, guilt trips, or even anger. Controlling parents often struggle with anxiety and a need for control. They might have experienced chaos or uncertainty in their own lives, and they try to create a sense of order and predictability by controlling their children. Growing up with a controlling parent can be incredibly suffocating. Imagine this. You're a teenager, and you're finally starting to explore your own interests, your own passions. But every time you try to assert your independence, you're met with resistance. Your parents might tell you that you're not ready, that you're making a mistake, that you'll regret it. And over time, those messages start to chip away at your sense of self. As adults, children of controlling parents often struggle with people-pleasing, perfectionism, and a fear of failure. But here's the thing. You are not your parents' puppet. You are an individual with your own thoughts, feelings, and desires. It starts with recognizing the patterns, setting boundaries, and learning to trust your own voice. Now, the third type of emotionally immature parent is the reactive parent. These parents can be exhausting to deal with. They're like emotional roller coasters, with their moods swinging wildly from one extreme to the other. One minute they're happy and loving, The next minute, they're angry and explosive. And the worst part is, their reactions are often completely out of proportion to the situation. Imagine this. You're a child, maybe 10 years old, and you accidentally spill your milk at the dinner table. A healthy, emotionally mature parent might react with a sigh and a "don't worry, it happens." But a reactive parent? They might fly off the handle, yelling, screaming, maybe even throwing things. They might make you feel like you've committed a cardinal sin, all because of a spilled glass of milk. Reactive parents' outbursts are rarely about the actual situation. They're often a reflection of their own unresolved trauma, their own emotional baggage. Growing up in this kind of environment can be incredibly damaging for a child's emotional development. Children of reactive parents often grow up feeling anxious, insecure, and afraid to express their true selves. And as adults, children of reactive parents often struggle with anxiety, people-pleasing, and a fear of conflict. But here's the truth. You are not responsible for your parents' emotions. You cannot control their reactions, and you cannot fix their problems. Focus on your own healing, your own emotional regulation, and your own sense of self-worth. And finally, let's talk about the fifth type of emotionally immature parent, the self-absorbed parent. These parents are often the most challenging to deal with because their behavior can be so deeply ingrained and pervasive. These parents are the stars of their own show, and everyone else, including their children, are merely supporting actors. Their world revolves around their own needs and desires, often leaving little room for anyone else's feelings or experiences. They have an insatiable need for attention, admiration, and validation, and they often use their children as a means to an end, a way to boost their own ego or fulfill their own unmet needs. This can create a dynamic where the child's achievements are only valued in terms of how they reflect on the parent. Imagine this. You're a child, and you've just accomplished something you're really proud of. It's a moment that should be all about you and your hard work. Maybe you got straight A's on your report card, or you scored the winning goal in your soccer game. These are moments that should be celebrated and cherished. You run up to your parent, bursting with excitement, eager to share your accomplishment. Your heart is full of pride and joy, and you can't wait to see their reaction. But instead of celebrating with you, they find a way to make it about them. They might dismiss your achievement or shift the focus to themselves. They might tell you about a time when they did something similar, or they might launch into a story about their own accomplishments, completely overshadowing your moment. This can leave you feeling deflated and unimportant. Self-absorbed parents aren't necessarily malicious or intentionally hurtful. Often they are simply unaware of how their behavior affects others. They might be deeply insecure, driven by a need to prove their worth or mask their own feelings of inadequacy. This insecurity can manifest as a constant need for validation and attention. But regardless of the reason, the impact of growing up with a self-absorbed parent can be significant. It can shape your sense of self and your relationships with others. Children of self-absorbed parents often feel invisible, unimportant, and unheard. They may struggle to find their own voice and feel validated in their own right. And as adults, children of self-absorbed parents often struggle with self-esteem, assertiveness, and setting boundaries. They may find it difficult to prioritize their own needs and desires. But here's the truth: you are not an extension of your parent. You have your own identity, separate and distinct from theirs. You are a whole and complete individual, deserving of love, attention, and respect. You have the right to be seen and heard for who you truly are. While it might take time and effort to break free from the patterns of your upbringing, it is possible to reclaim your voice, your worth, and your own narrative. You can learn to set boundaries, assert your needs, and build healthy, fulfilling relationships. Growing up with an emotionally immature parent is a tough journey, but it doesn't define who you are. You are not broken, you are not damaged, and you are not doomed to repeat the patterns of your past. You have the power to break free from those patterns, to heal from the wounds of your childhood, and to create a healthier, happier future for yourself. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on mental health and personal growth. And if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe and follow the Psychology and Physical Training channel for more videos. Thanks for joining me today on this journey. And remember, you are worthy of love and respect.